Hey, hello there. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, hi. I am basically a intention practitioner and I have been doing tarot readings for the past 5 years, and I decided that I would come on here and talk about goddesses per se. So the first goddess that I'm featuring in this video is Goddess Isis. I've personally worked with Goddess Isis the last whole year. I was working with her and I'm still working with her, but she's not the main goddess, I should say. Who is the main goddess right now? I'm not going to tell you. So basically what I do as an intention practitioner is that the coin term, the main thing, or the main known term is witchcraft. So I do practice witchcraft, and I know the word witch is pretty much coined as a very negative term right now, I believe, in society, because people think, the moment they think about witch, they're like, oh my god, is she going to hex me? Is she going to do something bad to me? It's always coined with something that is ill-mannered, or that is of some sort of like a malicious intent. But I just wanted to say that I will cover about witchcraft in a different reading, and if I have done so, I will link it in the description box below. But this reading, not this reading, but this this video is mainly focusing on goddess deity work and how it's done and how I used to do it. And I won't go pretty much into detail about the way I did it, because my connection with Goddess Isis, or I call her Isis, is of, I believe, a very special magnitude and sacredness to it as well. So Goddess Isis, I believe I will start off by talking about her. She's an Egyptian goddess, and she's one of the most powerful Egyptian goddesses to exist in Egyptian mythology. And basically, she's known to be the goddess of war, the goddess of beauty, the goddess of infinite power. I believe that her energy, for me personally, when I connected with her, it was of like a very motherly, loving, kind-hearted. I just saw 222 as I said that. She's a very kind, but also very powerful at the same time. So if you have worked with Goddess Hecate and you know her energy, Goddess Isis energy is, I would say, almost the same. But this lady, this woman, this goddess has a lot of love to offer. She's like a big, warm, powerful like hug, in the sense that I've got you. You don't have to worry about anything. And that's just how I would describe Goddess Isis to be, for me at least personally. So the way I began to connect to her, I think, is I started seeing a lot of roses. And I can't exactly remember how I coined, like, I sort of like put two and two together, and I was like, oh, she wants to connect with me. So I believe last year, it was, I think it towards the end of 2023, when I began to really see a lot of roses, red roses in specific. I kept on buying a lot of things that had to do with roses. Like, I had a rose pin. I started getting a lot of, I bought an outfit that I was in medical school. I just graduated, and at the time we had to obviously wear formal clothes to class, and so I remember getting these formal blouses which had roses on them as well. And one thing led to another, and I realized that, oh, this is Goddess Isis. So this is her. And this is a statue I actually own with me. This is not the picture of the statue I own. Again, I'm not going to show you anything when it comes to what it is that I own that has to do with her, or how I practiced with her. But I'm more so going to relate to you how it felt working with her. That's the basis of this video. So Goddess Isis is known to connect through many things. I believe one of which is through roses. She also tends to connect through arrows, and also a lot of Egyptian symbolism as well. So yeah, take what resonates with you, because again, I believe that she connects to every single one of us in her own way. And you know, she is the goddess of magic, the goddess of motherhood and healing. So my experience working with her, she's very protective. She's very I would use the word very very compassionate as well. She's not demanding. Like with me personally, when I work with the deity, which I call deity work, and essentially what deity work is again, I'll cover this in another video if you want to know more about it. But deity work is basically, I work with a specific goddess. I don't see a god as being one big universal thing. It's more of like the universe, and then we have these goddesses, we have angels, we have guides, we have ancestors, all of that. And essentially every single one of this is connected, and we are all one. We are all part of a collective consciousness, part of the universe, if that makes sense. So when it came to deity work with goddess Isis, she is I would say that I didn't have to always write something for her. So petition work basically is what I'm trying to refer to. And petition work is when, if I want the intention, I would write down a piece of paper and then, do it as it goes. You guys can check out The Witch of Wonderlust if you want to know more about this. I'll link her video in the description as well. If I don't, please remind me if I don't forget to link it. So petition work is the essential basis of my own practicing witchcraft. And with goddess Isis, I didn't have to do petition work at all, because I could just connect to her and be like, I want this, and she'd be like, okay. So she essentially, I believe, let me meet my soul family. I've met a soul family through a person. I'm not going to mention who this person is, because again, I don't want to keep my identity out there. But essentially there's that. And I met my entire soul family. She helped me also manifest my whole vision board for 2024. Just came through instantly, and I just kept updating my vision board as I went on. And I think she's a very compassionate goddess to work with. She will guide you. She guided me personally, and I believe that she will put you through. Let me be honest with you. She's going to make you face a lot of illusions, a lot of realities that you've made up in your mind, and she's gonna essentially come up with this beautiful way of pushing you down a cliff, letting you fall. Like if you do tarot and you know the Fool card in tarot, which is, again, tarot in itself symbolizes the journey of the Fool, and she's gonna push you down a cliff. And even though she does push you down, she's still gonna be there guiding you through it. So that's how loving of a goddess she is. And she's obviously like a mother. She would guide you through it. She's gonna be like, you're gonna fall, but you're gonna be fine. Like that's the vibe I would basically say with her. So how did it feel like working with her? I think with her, again, like even though she pushed me down the cliff, I believe she made me realize that I have wings and I can fly. It's almost like being out of control is actually being in control, if that makes sense. And even now as I speak, she's with me. She's always connecting. She's always being very loving and compassionate with me, with how I deal with my own wounds and how I deal with my own issues and my mechanisms. And she makes it very clear to me that this is what's happening within you. And it's almost like I'm gonna have a conversation with her, and she's always there. She protects. She doesn't dominate. And I would say that if Goddess Isis connects to you in any way, shape, or form that she wants to connect with you, actually sit with yourself and see what comes up. Because I think for me personally, practicing with her and working with her felt more of like a friend rather than like a goddess. She's the first goddess I believe I've worked with. I've never ever worked with any other goddess before. Currently I am working with another goddess, which I won't mention the name of, obviously, but she's the first goddess I allowed into my consciousness, to allow into me. And I want to talk about the topic of goddesses as well. A goddess is not a separate entity from you. A goddess is essentially, I believe, again, this is just my beliefs, she is part of me. In my consciousness, she already exists. And so working with her is almost like I'm honoring that part of which is already part of my consciousness, in the sense that I'm honoring the mother in me. I'm honoring she's known to be a warrior princess as well, so I'm also honoring the warrior princess in me, the warrior goddess in me. And it was through her that I awakened my inner goddess. And it's so powerful because, you know, when it comes to the goddess side of me, it's not just my sensuality, it's not just my beauty, it's also my sense of giving to people, my sense of receiving from people, my sense of compassion, my sense of the warrior part of me, which is like, I'm gonna do this anyway, no matter what. Like, it's that daringness, that willingness, that commitment, determination. And so that comes down to what I want to say. If you want to work with her, if you have like a specific dream you want to realize, or if you have, let's say, you want to do things that you think is impossible, or that you feel like you have a limiting belief surrounding something you want, so she would be an ideal goddess, I believe, to work with. And ritualistically speaking, for her, I believe that the only thing I did, the first ritual I ever did to welcome her into my energy, was to offer her a rose. She loves roses. Her favorite plant is a rose. And I forgot what else that that symbolism that came through for me, but I believe that it was also pigeons and birds and feathers, you know, anything that has to do with feathers, symbolism like moons, you know, because if you can see in this picture, you can see that on her headpiece she actually wears something that I don't remember, I don't know the exact name of this, but it kind of like it's like a moon shape kind of thing, a crown for her. So she also comes through as birds, and also the color red is very symbolic for her. And yeah, basically that's it. And she really transformed my life for like 100%. Like my life has taken a 180 trajectory, and I've achieved so many things in 2024 that I never thought could have been possible. And she's just so compassionate. The only way I can describe Goddess Isis with my experience with her is that she's like this goddess that would hug you, would push you down a cliff, but at the end of the day, she would be like, you're gonna be able to fly. I know you're gonna be able to fly. And she'll be there watching over you no matter what. She's also like the goddess who will push you into the fire, and she knows that you will be able to come out of it. You won't burn yourself. She's also she's the goddess that will push you to do the things you don't want to do, because she knows that you can do it. That's the best way that I can summarize the way my experience working with Isis, with Goddess Isis. So yeah, thank you so much. I hope that this video benefited you, and I will see you in another video. If you want to book a tarot reading with me, I do tarot readings myself. You could click the link in the description to my readings. I have a reading themed of her, which is why I do goddess themed readings. Some of the goddesses I've worked with, some of them I've not. Isis I have definitely worked with, so I'm mentioning her and I'm giving her the honor of that, to be part of this community. And I want her to come through me to help you if you want to work with her. So you don't have to even work with her or be a intention practitioner or a witch to do it, but you can just even pray to her if you feel called to, if you need help from her. Like, that's even part of witchcraft as well. Praying is also a practice of witchcraft, which I will get into more detail in my next video, which is going to be talking all about the myths and the debunks about witchcraft. So all of these are my takes, by the way. So that's the name of the channel, Marilyn's Take. And thank you so much for coming this far. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in another reading. Thank you so much, diamonds. Bye-bye.